What's up, guys? How we doing? This is a little bit unique, a little different, but we did not have the camera working, as you can clearly tell. A new setup here, very temporarily, but I guess 5 years worth of a camera is good. Yeah, so I got to go buy a new camera. But appreciate everybody hanging out. And we got to give away the Isaiah Rodgers helmet back there, so we'll do that. Very unusual. Did not plan on this, but I guess, technology. Got as much as I possibly could out of it. But shout out to everybody in the chat. It's a great Friday. This is going to be off the walls. Kramer, Kai, Ashif, Dante, Ben, CMV, Keisha, Mason, Joshua, John, Danny, 125850. I don't know if they have a name. Is that Danny? Greg, T. Brown, Mega John, Shake Man. Got a lot of you guys, so appreciate you joining. What's up? Yeah, I'm going to have this figured out by the live stream, so you won't have to go based off of this. But Hunter, good luck with your next camera. Yeah, I appreciate that. We'll be getting one very soon. Noah, how do you get in on the giveaway? All you got to do is be subscribed. So as long as you're a subscriber, we'll be good, and you'll have a chance to win. So, Damon's, what's up? What's popping? How's everybody doing? It is our Friday night hangout. It's a different one, and you hear that in the background. It is dinner time at the Davis household, but a little bit later. What are we now? We're probably almost 30 minutes late beyond that, but again, some technical difficulties there. John with the 5 Philly special memberships. There you go. Look at that. 5 more people getting in on the membership game. So Dylan, Mr. Scorpio, MBV, Andrew Steinberg, and Adam. Spelled very interesting. ADDOM. Adam. Congrats. Thank you, John. Heck yeah. Daz, can you trade the helmet for getting Reddick back? Yeah, you think that thing's worth $25 million? Oh my gosh. Yes, we will give that helmet away. Got to get into Eagles Saints. How's it going to play out this weekend? Maybe reason to be optimistic. I'm always optimistic, so be the eternal optimist. But that's there's at least some thought, right? When you talk about the line, we can get into that. There's also some expectations for the defense. Does that change things? The injury report, if you did not catch it already, CJ Gardner Johnson seems like most likely will not get in or will not play. We'll see. It's questionable officially, but he did not practice at all, and that's not a great sign. Certainly with a foot injury, maybe he tries to get in, but I'm unsure. I want to see Isaiah Rodgers out there. I want to see Zay, which, by the way, he did say he would be watching. We're not sure if we'll get Zay to comment on the stream. But Fitness, what's up? No, I did not get. This is actually just the MacBook camera, but we will upgrade because I've got to get another one. It literally, I think, just died on me. The funny thing is, if people have already watched the video from today that I dropped, it at least worked as of like 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, because I was able to post that video. And then it's dead. So, do I think that Kamara 3+ touchdowns is a good prop bet? No, I actually don't. I think that it'll be a closer game. They're going to have concerted effort. I don't think it's going to be quite as much for the running game. I'm not ready to say like, oh, we limit them to well below, but are you saying, Josh, with that camera look, you look like a little like Nick Foles? Heck yeah, I'll take that. Philly special, Nick Foles? Absolutely. Let's see. We got Jericho. Want to see Devin play? Devin White. That will be interesting. Yeah, like do we see him? How much do we see him? Dad's saying get Devin White on the field, move Baun to edge because we have no edge. Shaking my head. Yeah, we'll see. Andrew said appreciate the bets for Thursday. The 1-pick hit. Yeah, that was it was not a good day yesterday for the picks. That is for sure. We've had a tough run on Thursday night. We'll have some more on I'll do it on Sunday, certainly, but we'll see. John saying I agree we're shielding him for trade bait. That's also another thought. Could they be doing that? Dylan, can't wait for Rodgers. Been waiting to see what he can do ever since he was signed for suspension. Totally agree with that one also. You think about what Zay, and let me see if I can actually make this thing work. We'll see. Because we're running on a new setup here with some technical difficulties. I think I can get this to work. Yeah, it's not the worst. It's okay. I'm a little too close to the camera. I don't like being that close, but it works. But yes, as far as the matchup, I think it makes a whole lot of sense. Natural, I mean, just to play Zay anyway. But you talk about Rashid Shaheed. Get Isaiah Rodgers out there, the speed, the matchup, and the fact that Cube, and I'm not saying long term, but the fact that CJ Gardner Johnson's out, who's going to be that backup safety? Most likely it would be Avonte Maddox, is my thinking. You could go Tristan McCollum, but you got to think that it's going to be that spot. And then you move Q inside for at least this game, because he can play slot. He plays both. And then all of a sudden, you got some good speed there. I want to see if he could do something as far as taking the ball away. He's been very good at that in his entire career, so why not? Get him out there. You see the new guys, or at least Jahan Dotson, getting in some practice work from the new video the Eagles dropped. Do we see Dotson get anything else? Jericho says get Dotson more catches. Yeah, it'd be nice if you get semi-involved. So you can have anything. I mean, 3 catches would be fantastic. 4 catches, at least a little bit more. Wow. Let's see. Johnny, I don't know if that's a late comment or what. Says, let's run it. Let's go. Heck yeah. Let's run it. John saying a Johnny Wilson breakout game. All right. What are you talking about there in terms of a breakout game? Well, what would quantify, I guess, a breakout game for Johnny Wilson? It doesn't have to be insane, obviously. I mean, because, what are you expecting with Johnny Wilson? But what would that kind of be in your mind if you're talking about that? Jason asking who's starting for CJ. That's the question, too. Dre, it's actually second kid, so, but nonetheless, they're usually not screaming in the background. Okay, Mega 5 catches, 89 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's Michael with going with 1 catch. 1 catch is a breakout? Come on. Andrew, I don't believe his hamstring's 100%. He did practice, so he's better, but it's not 100%, I would imagine. Let's see. I think he got, I'll put the official injury report up here if I can do that. He did. He'd actually, okay, so he got a full practice in. Let's see if I could share the screen. If this is going to work for me. Yeah. So he did. He got in a full practice. A.J. Brown, obviously hamstring, did not practice. Probably going to be out certainly this week, but maybe even next week from the reports. I'm sure he'll try to get back as much as he can, but, if you got the bye week coming, there's no reason to force it, risk it. So, and then CJ not getting a practice in. I know he's listed officially as questionable. It's not an absolutely no, but I'm kind of worried about that one. That doesn't feel great. And then, yes, Johnny Wilson actually full practice. So after being, what was that, I believe, limited or maybe not even a DNP. So still don't know if I'm saying like it's 100%. It's a great sign that he got a full practice in, but the fact that he's popped up for hamstring. Eagle One, what's up? Let's run it. Yeah, big screen today. We're dealing with some technical difficulties. Camera has broken on me, so we're just rolling with the MacBook. The FaceTime camera is I mean, at least that's there, so we can make it work. John saying should be strictly a run option or run option. And by that, I mean Saquon and Saquon. That's definitely fair, yes. Johnny Pace believes the New Orleans defense comes back down to earth. I would love that. Mega John, you're saying CJ's playing, but where did you see that? Where did you see him saying that? Was that recently? Because I know that in a press conference or maybe a sidebar conversation, he was talking about like the Saints, they didn't bring him back, and blah blah blah. And he's like, we'll see how it is on Sunday. But that was before we got the foot injury and him not practicing at all, I believe. Unless there's something else, maybe I missed it. Let's see. Yes, John, AJ's officially out. Troy saying Maddox been sloppy. Michael DeJean over Maddox. John, we need that Madden hit stick. Yes, we do. Where? Okay, let me see. Where did CJ say that? Mega John saying that he said it to a reporter, but I did not see that report. So let's see if. Yeah, let me know. I would love to know which reporter. Because they said that they didn't see him at practice, but I'm just trying to find any report. I didn't see anything on that. Okay, I see yours. Yeah. Refused to answer questions, made that quote. And then you say, got you 1 second. Okay. Yeah, I'm just curious because I didn't see that at all. And I could certainly miss it. I'm not saying that it is for sure because I missed it. Yeah, John CD going to push to play. I bet. I mean, he's probably going to try as much as he can. So that part wouldn't be a surprise. Obviously, going to New Orleans, getting a chance to take it back to them and in the Big Easy. No, giveaway is not happening yet. Fly Parks, I see that. We will do it in a little bit. And see who that is. Thank you for, let's see. Oh, C. Newsom, yeah. Look different. It must be the camera. It is the camera. So the camera and the lighting. It's the FaceTime camera on the computer, unfortunately. We've got a busted camera. I guess it's kind of good timing, I suppose. It's my birthday in 6 days, so I was kind of like, do I ask for some golf stuff? Do I ask for, now we know. We got to get a camera because it's broken. So I guess there could be worse timing. All right, let's see. Mega John, I think you said you sent it. Okay, so Eagles Avenue. CJ Gardner Johnson declined to talk or address his foot injury with reporters. Didn't practice the past few days. See you Sunday while packing his bags at locker stall. But who was that? Who reported that? Let's see. Eagles Avenue saying Jeff McClain reported that? Okay, let's see. I may have missed a tweet from him there if he said that. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right, let me try to share the screen here again, if we can do that. We're all out of sorts tonight, so appreciate everybody bearing with us, but, you know, the technical difficulties. So there's... Oh, come on. Yeah, you could see that, kind of. So, yeah, Jeff McClain, appreciate it, Mega John, because I did not see that tweet. Declined to talk or address his foot injury with reporters on Friday. He didn't practice the last 2 days. See you Sunday, he said, while packing his bag at the locker stall, which is what Jeff McClain reported there. So there's a chance. I will say, I kind of need to see it just with his injury history. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but just because he's saying see you Sunday, I need to see, because a foot injury to me and the fact that he didn't even get a single practice in to test it out, it feels like it'll be naturally why they say questionable. But I'm kind of like, okay, because we need him. We definitely need him. The way the defense is, I'm going to be obviously more concerned if he's not there. But still, we'll see. There's a maybe. It says see you Sunday. So I will take it. Let's see. Where's Superjet here? Marcus, appreciate the 2. Said, where were you / what were you doing when you hit 75,000? Go Birds. Go Birds. What was I doing whenever I hit 75,000? I'm trying to think. I believe I might have been playing golf. I can't remember. I was either playing golf or possibly a CrossFit workout. There was some sort of activity, because I missed it, and then I checked back and I tried to get a screenshot in time. So yeah, one of those. But Andrew, the previous camera that I had was and I'm going back to some of these. I saw them after the fact, but previous camera I had was a Canon EOS R, and Devontae, you like the new camera? Okay, well, maybe I just keep the FaceTime one. This is literally the laptop camera, so I'm going to change it out, but John saying it isn't the camera, it's the anti-aging cream. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. Fantastic. Turning 32 in 6 days. I don't think, is it Anaya Smith's birthday? I don't believe it is. It's Eli Ricks. We share the same birthday. Just in 9 days. Let's go. September birthdays for the win. It's the CMV. Let's see. Larry saying, let me get that helmet. Good luck. You got a chance. There's one of 75,000. Like John says, again, so you're telling me there's a chance. There is. Just like CJ Gardner Johnson, chance to play. Let's see. Let me try to catch up on some of these. Patrick just jumping in, and it's just with a did I win? That's it. I'm okay at golf. Let's see the Jackson comment. I'm okay at golf. Used to be pretty good, I would say, but I just haven't gotten as much chance to. So, Troy, we're gonna figure out what camera I'm gonna get. We'll see. Upstart when you're blinked twice if Vic Fangio is holding you hostage. Come on. On that note, with Fangio, by the way, because we will be doing the giveaway. I'm waiting for a little bit just to make sure people have a chance to join in on the stream. So we'll probably do it here in about 15 minutes or so, just for those wondering. And we'll spin. It'll be random for everybody. Good luck. Kramer, 20 handicap. Okay. I think I used to be down at like a 5, and then I haven't been able to play as consistently now. So I think I'm like at an 8 to 10 range probably. Andrew, bro, let's go. I appreciate that. Not necessary, but very much appreciated. 10 towards the new camera. We'll take it. Thank you. John, I did see your comment too. If I'm ever in Florida, I will take you up on that. If we get a round in, I never pass up a free round. So I appreciate that one. Yes, for those that were wondering if it was going to be a trivia, I was like, you know what? We could make it a trivia, but let's just do something at random, and we'll just do the spinner. So that works. Rudy, thank you. T. Brown, you're going to win the helmet. Christine, the baby's doing well. Baby is past 8 months. It's crazy how time flies. It doesn't feel like it's gone that fast. On the topic, I got to get back here to the Eagles chat as we're talking about the Eagles and Saints. Is there, let's start with this, because I get that, yes, realistic expectations. We know that there's some concerns. There's a lot of concerns. You look at the Saints offense, several areas that they're really high on, the Eagles are not, vice versa. So I get it. There's some concerns, but if there is a reason, if you have any reason at all to be optimistic, I would love to hear it. I want to hear some takes, and we'll get into some pessimistic parts, hold on. But let's start out with some optimism here. Any reason at all? Like, what are you clinging to as far as, and I guess it could be the season or it could be this week, but I'm mainly talking about the Saints. Reason to be optimistic, any chance at all to beat the Saints on Sunday. Let's hear some comments, some thoughts there. I am the eternal optimist, so you guys know. I mentioned a little bit on the show that I dropped a couple hours ago, but I'll say it again as well. People were asking, like, hey, what's the silver lining? The silver lining is that this is not the end of the story. The silver lining is that this is still a long season. And I get that, yes, there's glaring concerns and issues, but it's a little bit different to me than whenever we're saying, and I can't remember who it was that initially said, of what are we going to do? Or I guess whenever I said, it can't get any worse last year with Sean Desai and then Matt Patricia, and then it did get worse. That's fair, but we're at the point now where it's pretty much like, it really can't get much worse. I know that it could, and we do have New Orleans coming up, but for me, I'm like, Vic Fangio, I appreciate it in the presser. He's brutally honest, and he's like, I got to get better. I got to be better. Now, we've heard that for going all the way back to the collapse last year. At this point, it's like whenever anybody says that now, I'm like, look, I appreciate it, but I need to see it. But I feel like there's a difference with Vic Fangio where he's got the credibility. He's been there. He's done that. Yes, he's had struggles. And remember, he even had that with Miami. And then he was kind of like, okay, fix some things. A little bit of ebb and flow, dealt with some injuries. But he did say that he felt like he had the guys, at least as far as interior stopping the run. So, I guess if you're thinking about Milton Williams, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, I know there's a lot of concerns, especially with JD. Not really concerned as much about Jalen Carter, but I think we can turn some things around. Let me get to some of these comments too. Also the super chats. I appreciate those. Ryan, thanks, dude. Here's towards a Sony A7 mirrorless DSLR. That would be okay. Now we're talking. I'm going to have to do some shopping very quickly too, because we got the game early Sunday start. So I will be buying a camera tomorrow, it sounds like. But I do appreciate it. Brian, heck yeah, man. The 10 said we'll chip in on the new camera. Go Birds, win, lose, or draw. Thank you for that. Yes. Go Birds. We're staying optimistic here. And I'll keep everybody posted on what we get. So much appreciated. Let's see. As far as some of the other comments, I'm going to get to those. Fanny, anything is possible in football. That's true. Ben G, optimistic reason, we're the better team, full stop. Okay. Believing we're the better team. It is very early. It could be fool's gold for New Orleans. I don't know if I'd necessarily go that far yet, but we'll see. Shake Man, everybody go snag a Let's Run It t-shirt and help this man get a camera. That you can. You're more than welcome to. It helps, but you guys are supporting more than enough. Y'all are the best. Patrick, Hurts could carve them with his legs. Absolutely. Sorry, I'm going backwards on some of these chats because they scroll up to the top so quickly and I miss them. Cranky Cletus, Eagles better, or I guess best fix their pass rush. That's true. Riley's saying Eagles by 50. Jamar, you play PGA Tour on Xbox. Let's go. Yes, Carter, I'm doing a random spin for all the subs, so we will get that here in about 15 minutes or so. Not your average collector. I do like that. If we got a Philly special golf scramble in Arizona, heck yeah, I'm in. Troy, another good point. Okay, so I've seen a couple of these now. But Hurts 2-0 versus the Saints. Also, they have a hard time with rushing quarterbacks. Yep, I talked about that in the video previously of the Saints they've struggled. Dennis Allen defense, they're good, they're solid, but they have struggled against mobile quarterbacks or even just quarterbacks that are willing to run. Like Josh Dobbs got the win, what was it, last year? Having a good performance. Tyson Bagent was, didn't get the win, I don't believe, but still had a good game. Like 7 carries for 80 yards, and then Jalen, who is 2-0. So Christian's saying that as well. Let's see. Jackson, we need to score first. They have led each game this year because they score first and fast, put them on their heels, and then control the games. I think we can beat them. That's also true. If they have a difference of they're used to playing from ahead, it's like, oh man, quick start, not really facing much adversity, and all of a sudden they get in a close one. Maybe so. Keisha's going with the Eagles win 32-27. I like that. I have Eagles 31-30. I think it's going to be really close. And yes, I'm believing in the Eagles. Let's see, Chris, if Sirianni doesn't take the easy field goal and we lose by 3 or less like last week, I'm going to flip out. Okay, well, hopefully that doesn't happen. We will see. Jeremy, I always believe we have a chance to win. There you go. Jay, also defense, need to stop the run for sure. Phoenix, I understand it's hard to be optimistic when the season ended badly last year. Totally get it. It's a new season, though. It's 2 weeks in. I'm just really trying to give the coordinators a little bit more leeway. Weedosaurus says they can beat the Saints if Jalen has a stellar game through the air. I mean, that's also true. Yeah, if he's connected and firing on all cylinders. Against the blitz, he's been pretty good. Some pocket presence. The more that you break down the film and look into it, yeah, he bailed early on some throws. Kellen Moore dialed up a couple good plays, and he missed those. And Jalen admitted a couple different times of saying, like, yeah, I need to learn from some of those instances. So that would also be hope. Ryan, the optimism is our offense can beat most teams regardless of the defense. Mike, I'm optimistic. Cowboys and Panthers are bad football teams. The Saints are not that good, how they looked in those games. That's fair. Jason, believing in Bryce Huff. Here you go. Once Huff understands his job, he's going to ball out. Cynthia, I'm optimistic because I'm a real fan. 2 weeks doesn't make a season. No one knows more what needs to be fixed than the coaches and players. Go Birds. Heck yeah. That's kind of what BG said. BG was talking about in his... what was it with WIP? I believe was the interview and saying like, yeah, it's just 2 weeks. We're not as big. We're not as concerned. We know what we need to fix. And then I think Hugh Douglas even jumped in and said like, yeah, you don't know about a team in 2 weeks. So I'm of that mindset. We don't know for sure. You can get some semblances of, okay, is this team going to be good? Is this team going to be bad? But I don't think we fully know where they're at yet. So that's fine. All right, I'm missing some of these super chats, but I'll get to those. Dakota with a 5. Heck yeah, defense plays good. It's a win. Okay, if they play well. Totally agree. Should be better. Nelson with a 2 says, Josh, you and Thomas are goats. Thank you for everything. Thank you. We very much appreciate that. We appreciate all you guys. It's a blast, like I say, building this community, getting to talk birds, hanging out, live streams, chats, even the videos, everything else. It is awesome. So y'all make it possible. There's no way to do this without you guys, but it is a blast. It's sounding like it's possible that we'll announce it officially. It's sounding like it might be either the Cleveland game, and I say Cleveland, it would be in Philly, but against the Browns or against the Steelers. So either game being at the link. It feels like that's where it's going, but I'll keep everybody posted. John with the 10 bomb. There you go. Camera fund. Keep the trend going. Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you, everybody who is contributing to the camera fund now. Kai with a 2. Says 1 for Sandy. A camera. Okay. Yep. And then $1 for a dunk appearance. Is he? He's actually not. I was going to say he might be in his little kennel area and can run him through. He's outside. So if I can get help with that and he's brought through, I might put him on camera briefly. My wife is usually watching the live streams too, so she might run him through, and then you might get to see Doug. He's a mess. Let's go. Jeremy with the 10. Keep it coming. 10 for the camera fund. Let's go, man. Appreciate it. Let's see. Slat with a 2. I didn't see a comment, but thank you. Dakota just played Madden. Eagles won 27-23. I don't mind that score. You keep them to 23, the best offense in the NFL, at least by stats, at least as of right now. We're not necessarily saying that they are, but let's see. I think I got this was the comment from Slat. So 2 more. There you go. Why the bleep aren't they playing Devin White? That's a strange one. I really don't know. It could be the fact that he's not good at run defense. Certainly not great. Hasn't really ever been a part of his calling card for defense. So something there could be trying to, he's not a fit for Fangio, which would be very strange because you signed him and you knew your defensive coordinator. It's just a very odd look because he was getting all those first team reps. And I don't know if that was a ploy of Eagles sign him. He gets the first team reps, talk about how good he's doing, and then try to trade him before the cut down. But they knew that he wasn't that good. I mean, it's totally rumor because there hasn't been, I don't believe, a second backup source from it. But Albert Breer saying that the Eagles were potentially, or maybe were, trying to trade him before the cut down. So then they couldn't. And, I mean, it'd be a terrible, swing and a miss. I don't know what they would be doing, but maybe there's no chance there for Devin White. At this point, I mean, Fangio said in the presser, he's ready to roll. He's good. He's ready to roll, healthy. I don't know. There's just something strange. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. Is he inactive again? If he is for the second week in a row, then we have our absolute answer. I feel like we kind of already know. But if he's inactive, then there's absolutely no future for him on the Eagles. Sadly, I mean they've already given up on that. So, Kai with a 5, thank you. Said we support our team like we support you for a new camera. Eagles fans are the best. Josh for MVP. Gibberish to fill up the 150 characters. Okay, well, congratulations. I guess you get the 150, but thank you for that. Y'all are the best. You know that. 5 more from is it Chavi for 5 camera fund. Thank you. And Cranky Cletus with a 10 bomb. Let's go. More camera fund. I'm telling you what, y'all are insane. Y'all are unreal. Okay, about 10 more minutes, and we will spin for the Isaiah Rodgers helmet there. So, and then hopefully it's someone on live stream. We did have, I think it was the last giveaway that we did, if I'm not mistaken. It was somebody who was on the live stream that won it. So if we could keep that up, that would be fantastic. And then let's see. Cranky, I think I missed the second part of that comment too. What was it? Big day from Barkley, and defense creating a couple turnovers is how they win. There you go. There's the optimism. Barkley could have a good day behind the offensive line, and absolutely. Defense for sure could create turnovers. I can't remember who the other comment was previously, but talking about if they start out, was it Jackson? I think Jackson was saying if they don't start out ahead, the Saints that is, then there's some adversity, and they haven't faced this before. So for sure. You get up early, score a touchdown, get maybe a turnover, go up 14-0, put the pressure on them, could totally change the game. Daniel saying, I'm sorry, but y'all saying we're going to win by double digits are nuts. We'll have to see Sunday. I will say this. I don't think that we're winning by double digits. I can appreciate confidence from people that believe that, but for me, it's an incredibly close game. If we win, it's close. And if we lose, I think it's close. I don't think that we get blown out and have major, backlash. It's just completely falling apart. Larry, I'm in agreement with you. I'm shocked that Rodgers hasn't touched the field yet. We don't know exactly those conversations, but I would have felt like he'd be there. Let's go. Jacob Sports is here. Heck yeah. I'm assuming that's Xander, but what's up? How's it going? Says, yo, Josh, our birds are in trouble on Sunday. I'm delayed on the comments too, so if we're behind. But Says they're in trouble Sunday, tough game. That is a fair statement. It is a tough game. It's not going to be easy. That's why I titled it. I mean, that might be a little bit corny, but that's all I could come up with on very brief title for the stream here. The Eagles match up with the Saints, and the Big Easy won't be easy. Plus, I was dealing with the camera issue, so. But that's what we had. So, there's the 10-point. Danielle going with the Eagles 28, Saints 17. See, I don't mind that, but yeah, China. I don't know. Devin White being our Rashad Penny is something that I certainly did not see happening. I'm not saying that I expected, hey, let's just go in there and have a, absolutely ridiculous start or anything. But to be Rashad Penny-ish, the first game, we'll temper it with that, but the first game where he is officially active or could be, was inactive and was not injured. So, yeah, don't know what's going on. Jack says we need more blitzing. Not your average collector. Triple-digit win. Why not? Let's just go with even more confidence. We might be getting a little bit crazy there, but sure, anything could happen. Slat saying here, I'm just saying there's no way we're worse in the run with Devin White than Nakobe. Just a thought. I don't know. I that's hard to say, man. I can understand the thought because it's been bad. I really think it's been more the D-line. Not saying that Nakobe is perfect or even, really good by any means, but the D-line has really struggled. So I expect it to be a lot better. Fangio did not play the right scheming of sorts. I mean, you saw where the guys were lined up. They have 9 wide in some situations. Like, what on earth are you doing? Like, it's clear. And got crushed by outside zone, but a couple others as well. So it's like, okay, make some adjustments. He said he's got to be better. Put the guys in good spots. And I think that we see a little bit more improvement. I don't know how much necessarily. Emily asking, how do we enter for, I assume for the giveaway, for the helmet. Yeah, you just got to be subbed. As long as you're subscribed, you're good to go. It's not one of those leave a comment type of deal that we've done in the past. So as long as you're subscribed, we'll be giving that away. And then I'll be mailing it to whoever the subscriber is. I will say also, they have they'll have a week, I guess. We'll do that. They'll have 1 week to claim it. And if they don't, then we'll come back and it'll be just someone on the live stream. So we'll make sure that it's a live stream person. It'll be great if they're a part of it now, but we shall see. Yes, it's a chance. As far as let's see, seeing Jackson Jets talking about Reddick, that yes, but I mean that can't be for us, surely not. I mean, you got Howie was not willing to pay him, right? So it feels like it wouldn't. Ace Flame made it, huge stream. Yep, there you go. Brian, I like that. I think it says I think Carter rebounds, gets pressure, which opens the door for Sweat and Williams. I think we get a glimpse of what this D-line should be. I really hope so, man. I want to see that. I think that Jalen Carter, I'm not concerned about him, but I do need to see it or really want to see that from some other guys, and that'll help open it up. So we'll see there. John saying it'll be the first of our minimum 2 wins in New Orleans this season. Heard it here first. Okay. There you go. I like the prediction there. Let me get to this other, actually a couple other super chats. I'm missing these. So let's see. Is it Big Fern? Let's go. Appreciate the Tim Bomb. Said the best thing about the game last week was when CJ smashed Bijan Robinson at the line. Also his face when his helmet came off. He was so hyped. Go Birds. Yes. Go Birds. Did he take the helmet off? Did he not? It was kind of partially coming off at that point, but you could go both ways at that. I don't think that he should have been flagged, but it was a lot closer whenever you watched it back. You're like, yeah, it's close. But yeah, totally love the passion, the energy, the fire that he brings. He is second in the league in terms of missed tackles. You take him with a grain of salt. Like he is a high intensity player and not afraid to hit someone. I mean, there's not a lot of guys that could have made that play, so give him credit there. But you do talk about some missed tackles that he's had. And it's a little concerning sometimes. But, yeah, to meet Bijan in the hole and then make the stop, I mean, it was like a brick wall. Bijan did not go forward, and it should have been the game-winning from the defensive side. Should have been the game-winning situation there. Unfortunately, it was not, and we know how it ended. But, yes, kudos to CJ for that stop. Jerry with the 2. Appreciate that. Says, are you worried about this game? I think it's going to be really close. Am I worried about this game? I mean, yes. Like they're a good team. I said back whenever I was doing, I think one of the live streams for talking through the schedule, that New Orleans was going to be tougher than maybe what some people would expect, because it seemed like there were a lot of, oh, hey, there's a win. You play the Saints. And I still think we can win, but playing in New Orleans is difficult. It's regardless of the team, it's difficult. But playing against this team, one of the top offenses, or the top offense, if you want to look at the stats so far, the Eagles have not beaten the Saints in New Orleans since, I think, 2007, I believe was the last time. So that's a long time. It's a long history of not winning. Now, you could argue that we're due, right? So if we're playing that game, on the other part of it, the other side, you could say, well, history is not on our side. So you go both ways. I don't know. I mean, in a like on a scale of 1 to 10, I don't know necessarily where I would rank that. Am I worried? Am I like thinking? I guess if a 10 is we're getting blown out, we're getting destroyed, and then a 1 is, I guess we're gonna blow out the Saints. I'm probably like at a 5 or 6. I think we're gonna see some adjustments and see a difference in the play level, the intensity, the guys showing up prepared, Fangio making some adjustments, and the Saints not quite being at that same level. They're good. They're great so far. 15 straight possessions without a punt, I believe, right? 15 straight possessions for Derek Carr on the field. There were some moments of like end of game, but those don't really count. So 15 straight legit possessions of scoring points is insane. It's a great way to start a season. Would be fantastic if we had done that. But I think they'll come back to reality just a little bit. Jack, thanks for the 2, says Howie has been 0 for Georgia. Yeah, well, is that 0 for all the Georgia picks? I mean, Jalen Carter, you still have to wait, but I think he's one that you'll be, okay, he's hit on that, right? And that's not as far of a stretch, because he's taking him where anybody would have or should have, I guess. But you see the talent that he has there. I'm not super concerned from that side, but it's fair. You look at a lot of the guys that he's taken, and you're like, okay, well, when's it going to? When he took them, he gets a lot of praise. You got the Philly Dogs, and we're seeing a very slow for them to actually build up and attempt to live up to expectations. It's kind of where we're at. Annette with a 5. Thank you, Annette. This is Josh hustling no matter what. Trying to. Not giving up on the Eagles just yet. Give Hunt a chance at edge. And Booker, Milton definitely deserve more snaps. For sure. Thomas Booker better get more than 8 snaps. Let's just say that. With the way that his run stopping was, maybe it was partially because he was fresh, which is what Anthony DeBona had been saying on Tuesday night whenever he hopped on so graciously during the stream. But, yeah, give him a few more snaps. Milton Williams looked pretty good. The only sack for the defense. So he should be out there. I would like to see possibly some like 5-man defensive fronts. I would assume we'll get to see that a little bit more, because the Saints do like to max protect quite a bit. I don't know. I could be wrong, but a lot of teams have also taken advantage of, hey, let's get the Eagles spread out. Let's get them in nickel. And then as we saw with the Falcons, a lot of outside zone. We'll probably see inside zone as well. But between that and the cut blocks, we're giving the linebackers nightmares. They were giving them fits. I appreciate repping that in practice. It was a little bit odd to hear Vic Fangio say during the press conference that Zack Baun had not seen that before until that game. And so they are like drilling it this week in practice. Kind of like, it feels like that's something that you would have done already. Nonetheless, at least they're getting reps in now. Hopefully they can combat that whenever they face the cut blocks, because I'm sure they'll see more of it, especially with the Saints watching that film. Let's see. Here's Shizzo, appreciate the 5. Says, Hurts been given passes, man. If you watch the film, he's bailing clean pockets and isn't targeting Goddard over the middle, and he keeps scrambling right. Yeah, I won't knock. He's definitely not been perfect. There's a lot of areas. If you watch the breakdown, Greg Cosell, shout out to Inside the Birds. They did a good breakdown on it. more than a couple instances where Jalen had a pass, and if he had been either looking in the right direction or not happy feet and getting out too quickly, dancing out too quickly, breaking the pocket, he probably had those throws. And again, he's admitted he's working on those. He's going to get better. I'm sure he's seeing that in the film breakdowns with Kellen. I would imagine that Kellen's also helping him say, hey, look, you had so-and-so. Like, there's one in particular, I can't remember. It was like I think it was the fourth, I believe it was the fourth down call early in the game that he had Jahan Dotson to the left side on a slant. He also had, I think it was Saquon maybe, if he had thrown it a lot quicker. There was for sure Dotson to his left on a slant, and was kind of getting a pick of sorts by Britton Covey. And he had him if he was looking to the left side and going through his progressions or just willing to stay in the pocket, but he did not. So, yeah, I mean, no one was perfect, but that's where you're hoping he's taking that next step. And he said that he's willing to. So, all right, let me get to this other super chat here, and then we're going to set up the giveaway, because I know I mentioned we're going to do that here at about 9-ish Eastern on the East Coast. We do need to get Goddard in, by the way. I will say that on the comment of targeting Goddard over the middle. There's no reason at all, no offense to Britton Covey, there's no reason at all that he should ever be out-targeted by Britton Covey. And yet, in a game, especially when A.J. Brown's not on the field, and yet Covey had more targets than Goddard and Jahan Dotson combined. So that is an issue. All right, let's see. Dylan with a 2. Appreciate that. Said with CJ GJ possibly out, you think we see Rodgers now? Maybe. I talked about it on the video before, but I believe that there's a chance. I would like to see it just for the reason of I imagine that Avonte Maddox is the guy that Vic Fangio would move back to safety based on the reps that he's been getting. So if that were the case, then, we're going to talk about, like, you move him back there. Who do you move to slot? It's not Zay, because he's not playing slot. Q can do it well, as I mentioned earlier. And then who do you put out there for corner? Now, Keely Ringo was getting reps before Zay was in the Falcons game. I don't know if they're just playing it safe with a hand injury, but, I mean, I'd love to say, hey, let's get him out there. He was getting those first-team reps. He was starting. He was making plays. There were several reports of, like, hey, A.J. Brown had a little bit of a step, or Devontae Smith had a little bit of a step, and Jalen went to make a throw, and Isaiah Rodgers' speed was more than enough to catch up. Like, surprising to the reporters, surprising to Jalen. So if it's happening that way, it's the same thing for the game. You cannot really make up for speed, and if he's got that, then even if someone gets a little bit of a step, he can make up for it and certainly make some plays. So we would love to see. I believe that whenever he was last on for the live stream, I think the what did we say? We were like, hey, 6 interceptions, 3 pick sixes. I believe that's what we went with. So let's get him out there. Let's get started on that. Yes, Supreme Rich, Q in the slot, Zay play outside. That's what I would want. All right, let me get there. There's one more. Just got another super chat from Shizo here. Appreciate the 5. Let's see. This is a 4 to 5 year starter. He is who he is. If this was any other Eagles quarterback, we'd be killing him, but we like Jalen's character, so he's above criticism. I don't think he's above criticism, but, like, you got to give him a little bit of a benefit of doubt. Like, he's had different offensive coordinator, like, just about every single year. So, yes, should he be able to make some improvements? Maybe, or sure, I'll say yes, but, like, he's also had areas where Sirianni was not making him, and it's fine because Jason Kelce was doing the protection, a Hall of Famer. That's okay, but it's almost like, in a way, he was not given the freedom to lead, not given the freedom to take that next step. So you're finally seeing it in a legit offense with a Kellen Moore, and Sirianni's backing off, thankfully. So, I mean, I hear you about the years. Yeah, you like it to say, oh, great, he's fully immersed in this. He can totally run it. There's no questions. He knows what he's doing. He should be able to make those reads. But you still take it with a grain of salt of going like, well, yeah, but he's been in an offense that didn't have near the answers. I'm not saying it's not on Jalen some, but he's also been in an offense that, hey, you're not going to have a lot of hot routes. You're not going to have a lot of answers to beat the blitz. Let's be honest. And kind of coached to play hero ball in a way. It's hey, hunt out the big plays. Look for a deep shot. I mean, that was Sirianni's method. It's what worked for 2022. But yes, you go a little bit further. He's got to be better. He knows that. Got to be improving. Had a good completion percentage, but it's got to be a combo. It can't be completion percentage and, 6 yards average. It's got to be completion percentage and push the ball down the field. So I would just hold out hope. I would not totally give up on him for sure. All right. Well, let's do the helmet here. I was getting through all the super chats, and I appreciate all that. The camera fund, you guys are the best, like I say. Let's see if I can. I think I can. This is... Make sure that I can screen share. Okay. All right, we're going to do the giveaway here. And one of the subscribers, I mean, good luck to you. Hopefully it'd be awesome. I mean, what would be the odds of someone on here? 400-ish people watching right now. If you haven't already hit the like button, make sure to subscribe. I guess you got a last-second chance of getting in on the giveaway. Kramer's already going with the rigged. Love it. We haven't even spun yet, but, that's probably a way to do that. Yeah, already. Great. So here we go. I'm going to screen share. Let's make sure that this actually does work. And there we go. Okay. So good luck to everybody. Whoever wins will have 1 week to claim it. If not, it'll go to somebody who hangs out on the live stream regularly, and I'll figure out a way to do that with everybody else. But good luck. It is the Isaiah Rodgers helmet, as you see back there, signed by the man himself. So here we go. We spin, and it is Bush on Cush. Okay, interesting name there. 1161, but congratulations. You are the winner there, and just make sure to send me on the Philly Special Show at gmail.com. So make sure to do that. Bush on Cush 1161, and you'll have as there's Eagles Nest 1352 saying I won. I suppose that's your other account. So congratulations if it is. If if they don't claim it, again, I'll give it away to somebody else who actually is on the stream. But I'll be posting that in the community page. Remember, you have 1 week. It might be my burner. That's true. That's a good point. I see those comments there too. If it is my burner, then just magically it'll just hang out there, I guess, and people will forget about it. They'll just say, "Man, I guess Josh just bought a second white helmet like that." But as far as that, congratulations to you. Again, the Philly Special Show at gmail.com. And I need to just make sure to take a pic of your account with the stream. So I know it's you, because I've gotten several of those recently of people trying to claim stuff, and I would imagine I might get some others. Also, beware of scammers, because you guys have seen it's been ridiculous recently. I'm going to comment back, and I will share. If someone legit wins, you'll get a message from me. It'll say, "Hey, congrats, you won the giveaway," and the legit custom emojis. So hopefully that negates all of the scammers, or most of them. But there you go. Daniel, that's a fair point. I could put it off the screen. That's all. Yeah, just hang out and keep it there. Yeah, that's true. James is saying Thomas Mott or Isaiah Rodgers' secret account. You never know. I'm going to try to. Here's what I'll also do. I will try to get whoever wins it to take a picture with it so that I can post it if they're willing to. Like I say, assuming I hear back from, is it Bush on Cush? Yeah, I'll try to get them to take a pic if they're up for it, and then I will post it on the video itself. So I'll let them know, and then I will get them to post it. And you guys can, hopefully believe and make sure that I'm not hanging on to the helmet. Yes, I know Photoshop is a real thing too. So, but still. Let's see here. There was one other one. Oh, Supreme Rich. What's for 100K? There's something really cool planned for 100K. I will say that. And depending on whenever we hit it, it might be even better. But we'll see. Depends on when we get to 100K. My thought is if we're sometime around the playoffs or something like that, we'll do like a pretty legit, maybe, assuming they're hosting a playoff game, for those that are still being optimistic, might do a playoff giveaway, playoff tickets. Could be good. Or, I don't know. There's let's just say there's some potentials for some sort of collab with the Eagles. That was what I mentioned, I think, previously, but I can't totally give it away. But we'll see. All right, there's one more. She's with another 5. Let's go. Appreciate that. Name a QB in the NFL with a top 3 O-line and supporting cast. Then Jalen. The NFL, your team good. You'll lose OCs when the last time the O ran smoothly. I maybe name a QB in the NFL with a top 3 O-line and supporting cast. Then Jalen. I feel like there's some grammar here that might help me read this thing. The NFL. Your team's good. You'll lose offensive coordinators. When the last time the O ran smooth? When is the last time that? I don't know if there were some questions in there or that was a full comment. I appreciate the 5. I'm trying to make sense of that. I think I understand what you're saying. Like with the O-line, the supporting cast, Jalen, it's good. You lose your offensive coordinators. When was the last time the O ran smoothly? I mean, with Steichen, it was running better. It was still taking it, kind of in towards the, maybe not the middle of the season, but after Sirianni was like, okay, I'm taking a back seat here, and Steichen can start calling plays. So I don't know. I just look. I could be wrong in a year, 2 years, 3 years, however long it is. Like I could be wrong, and we could just be sitting here and going, well, okay, Jalen wasn't the answer. He wasn't able to take that next step. But I also feel like it's a little bit unfair criticism this early on to say he's learning a new offense. He's doing something that he's not been asked to do. And whether that was the Eagles initially saying, oh, we need to be careful, we don't need to expose him to too much, we want to just kind of coddle him of sorts, or it was a Sirianni scheme because, he's not the best offensive mind necessarily, or it was a combo of that. So I think I understand what you were saying there with your comment, but I'm just holding out a little bit. I'm not ready to make a definitive judgment. Give Jalen the benefit of the doubt with the new offense there. Damon Saunders, let's go. The 10 bomb. Heck yeah. Says, Josh, am I the only one who's tired of the we got to better talk or we got to get better talk? I mean, at this point, it's, put up or shut the F up. These dudes not playing with no heart. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's just a weird position to be in too, because I'm like, it's hard to know for sure, because whenever you switched with the offensive and defensive coordinator, the thought on my side was like, okay, well, there's guys who know what they're doing. They're going to make adjustments. They will put the players mostly in the position to make plays. So last year, I felt like it was fair criticism, and we had tons of film breakdowns and guests and everything else of talking about it. But it was like, they're not doing right. They're not doing right by the players. They should have been better, and they just weren't. Like they were putting them in bad spots. We saw it all. Now, yes, the players, there was effort. There was other issues and concerns too. I'm not saying it was just all on the coaches. But then it's like, okay, you make the adjustment now. You have those coordinators. My hope and thought was, okay, we get into the season here. And yes, there's still some of those adjustments, but players be put in those positions. Now it's time for the players to show out. And very early in the season, very early, I am still the believer of you don't know about a team 2 weeks into it. You don't know about a team, honestly, 3 weeks or maybe even 4 weeks into it. So coming out of the bye week, we'll probably have a little bit of a better idea because we'll say, hey, 4 weeks under our belt, a bye week, going into the next game, what is this team? What is this team going to be? But I hear you. There's effort in particular to me on the defensive line. I mean, that's where it starts. And, I mean, in all honesty, we were talking about, hey, why should we be optimistic playing the Saints, all this other stuff. The pessimistic viewpoint, or maybe even the realistic viewpoint, if you want to take it this way, is the defensive line is the biggest weakness. That feels weird to say or strange to say that, but I mean, we got to be honest. Through 2 games, it's a small sample size, but I never imagined that I would be saying that about the defense. If I was looking at the defense, I was going, hey, defensive line, it should be solid. I was thinking hopefully it'll be really good, but it should be solid because, and maybe this was just fool's gold or me being naive to it, but it's also like this is where the Eagles invest in the defensive line. Like they will get defensive line play out of it. And then, you hear Fangio talking about, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, pushing them, getting more out of them. Bryce Huff, hopefully he ends up doing something. It's like, okay, I'm not saying it's top of the league or top tier, but it should be solid. And then it's like, but what about the linebackers? Like, we don't know about the linebackers. The secondary, a lot better because it just got revamped. We just added some guys, but you still have questions, right? And then here we are saying the defensive line is the weakest point of the defense. So it's crazy. And there's lots of to do with, not playing with heart, not playing with effort. And then still combined with, I mean, they were not put in the best positions for sure. So Moto Medic saying we have one above average linebacker in Baun. Interested to see how this season goes further. Hamid saying 100, if we 100K Super Bowl tickets. We'll see. I won't totally say no to that. That would be a pricey. Yep. We'll see. Not going to say no. Not going to say no completely, but man, that'd be pricey. If we hit 100K, obviously it'd have to be before the Super Bowl and the Eagles were to make the Super Bowl. Maybe. So you heard it here first. All right. Let me make sure and get to some of these others too. Flipping the bird, it was Bush on Kush 1161 who won the helmet. So congratulations to them. They just got to claim it now. So hopefully they do. Daniel saying a pizza party at 100K. I mean, that could get expensive if we tried to do like a pizza party for like 300 or 400 people. People are a little bit upset about that. I understand people are a little bit upset. That's fine. Let's see. Where was another? Getting to some of these other comments. I saw some of those. Daniel saying, for real, the secondary does look good. Dennis Designs offense ain't all that with the penalties and turnovers. They need to get it together. They need to be better. I mean, we could call it what it is. The defense, yes, they lost the game in the sense of they let Kirk Cousins march down the field in unbelievably, like, ungodly amount of time or short amount of time. But the offense should have still won that game. I mean, if you hold a team to 22 points, and I know that's still a decent amount. I'm not saying that's a great defensive performance, but with this offense, that should be a win. So it's not totally wrong. Savage saying open invite. Yeah, that's true. Want an Eagles pizza party? That would be pretty good. Someone asking what's his timeline. Someone take him out. He's got a week, I think. I've usually done that traditionally, a week for somebody to prove that they're themselves, and then we'll make sure that he can get it. If he does not, I'll obviously give it away, though, to you guys. Someone on the stream. So. James. How many people are in that boat? I'm just seeing some of these, too, but sounds like my job. Oh, y'all want to raise? How about a little Caesars instead? Yeah, I'm sure that a ton of people can relate to that one. Who wants a pizza party? Nah, nobody wants that raise. Just a little pizza. Let's see. Shizzo, I'm late to get to, but appreciate the 5 more. Says, I blame the front office 2, should have hired a coach that calls plays. As long as we're successful, the OC will keep leaving for a head coach gig. It is what it is. I mean, not wrong there. That's definitely fair. I mean, how many times did we talk about that throughout the offseason, even before, I suppose, of Sirianni's the guy, the head coach, and if you have a good offensive coordinator, they will get poached, and you're going to be back to square one. You're going to have to say, hey, here's the new guy. Here's who's taking over. That part is very true. I just, to 100%, again, not to say he's without blame, but to give Jalen 100% and say he had full chances to take this offense to the heights that he could potentially get there, or does he live up to expectations? I just, like, give him some sort of consistency. Give him 2 years even. Give him 3 years with the same offensive coordinator. Then if it doesn't happen, fine. Totally believe it. Then you know for sure. But yeah, it is what it is, as you say. Jack Dwight with a 2 says, don't shoot me, but Smitty over Parsons was a blunder. Oh, man. Well, he might be an Eagle soon. Who knows? The Cowboys can't pay him there. That might, I'm not sure what the comments are like, actually, after that. Somebody says Smitty is a dog. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. Smitty's a stud. I know it would be nice to have somebody as far as defense, but still. Larry, the secondary looked confused last week. Watch the tape. They didn't, I mean, there were some plays. I'll give that to you, sure. I mean, obviously the one with Q, but yes, you could go back and watch, and it's not like they were perfect, and they weren't even great, but it's still, like, to me, sometimes I'm combined effort of the D-line was so poor at any sort of pressure, at any sort of run blocking, or run stopping, that sometimes it's like, it's hard to know for sure if or I guess how that would have affected. And yeah, some of it's like, okay, hey, if the pass rush is good, it covers up blemishes on the secondary, but it feels like a similar stance of like last year where, you know, just how bad is the pass rush, just how bad is the D-line, just how bad is the secondary. Now, again, the secondary is better than last year, so I don't think that many people would argue with you on that, or with me on that, but it's hard to say officially because you're not getting the same, or what I guess a lot of us would have expected for that pass rush or the push. Maxwell, thanks for the 2. Just the fly Eagles fly. I can appreciate that. Go Birds. Damon's the 5 more. Let's go. Says, Josh, all that makes sense, but it's pretty much I'm going to impose my will on you, and they're not doing it. I mean, you're right. Yeah. You've got a little bit more intensity with CJ Gardner Johnson, and I think there's a little bit more of a swagger about the defense. I'm not saying it's, you know, markedly better, obviously, where the rankings are in standings from 2 weeks, but there's a little bit more of an attitude from them, so that's at least a small positive, but it's just the attitude side. The leadership part to me is where it's like they dropped off, and I said this, I think, in a live stream. I obviously said it in the last video that I dropped too, but we got to be honest. Fletcher Cox, losing Fletch was a bigger loss than losing Jason Kelce. No offense to Jason Kelce. He's never going to be replaced. But, like, Cam Jurgens, confident in him. Maybe if he'll stop running out for passes, we'll be good. But he should be solid. Again, I'm not saying he's Jason Kelce. So does the tush-push be a little bit less likely to convert? Maybe. Is it not quite as good of run blocking or pass block? I don't know, but we're not comparing those perfectly. I'm just saying in terms of leadership and that specific element, what they bring to the field, Fletch is a bigger loss. The offense can make up for it, I think, because it's like, yes, you have all the weapons, but you also have Jalen Hurts taking that next step as a leader. Saquon Barkley, great leader for the locker room, has been fantastic. A.J. Brown, already been there, but taking that next step further. So there's not as much of the, I guess, the necessary or needing someone to be that leader in the locker room, whereas the defense, you know, that's huge. That's a very big void there for Fletcher Cox leaving. And, you know, I get it that Jalen Carter said that he was late for a team meeting, because I think he said he didn't plug his phone in. It was something to do with a phone. I don't know if it was an oversleep or just phone situation there, being late for a team meeting. It's one thing. He gets benched for the first series. He goes in. He did not have a good game, certainly by Jalen Carter standards. He said that. I think he said his words were trash, if I'm not mistaken. So he knows he's got to be better, but it's just the small things, and they slowly start adding up. You're like, okay, you don't have that fire. You don't have that impose your will, as you're saying, Damons. It's like, yeah, Fletch is, he texts Jordan Davis, and I'm assuming he texted Jalen Carter because he said he texted a few others, and I can only imagine the guy that he was basically his mentor all of last year, saying it's unacceptable. Like, get mad, go out there and dominate, and you're just not seeing it. So I will say, sometimes, a loss can be very telling and proving and say, hey, look, guys, you know what? You're not as good as you think you are, or the issues that you had are a little bit more glaring. So that's the hope, is they can make up for it and then be able to transition to, maybe we see that this week. Maybe you see a little bit more of that. I'm going to impose my will. You're not going to be able to stop me. Because, gosh, we need it. Now, I know that's a very optimistic viewpoint, but I'm just saying that whatever it takes, yet that leadership standpoint, I don't know who that's going to be. That's a question in itself. I think that we do have, like I say, some of that energy and the attitude that we didn't quite have. But as far as a leader to step up in that room and rally the troops, I don't know that the defense has it as much as the offense. All right, Frank, let's go, man. Appreciate the 10. Let's go. Josh says, I respect you a lot and what you do, especially with YouTube. But after listening to Dan Sills, he pretty much laid it out on the table. I used to disagree with what he had to say, but now I understand. Okay, I appreciate that. I'm not sure exactly what he said or what that's in referring to. Is that like to Jalen, or I'm not sure. But I appreciate it, man. Heck yeah. I'll get to some of these other comments too. And obviously don't feel like you have to like throw out another super chat for that comment. I'm curious what that was in reference to, because I did not hear his comment. Let's see. Another one here. Jamar with a 2. Said game is won in the trenches. D-line has it. Absolutely. Yes. Game is won in the trenches. O-line, D-line. O-line's been solid for the most part. It does come back to a decent amount of, I guess the penalties, right? We talk about, like, how many was it? Was it 3? If I'm not mistaken, was it 3 penalties for, I think, 2 of Juergens, an eligible man downfield, and then Lane Johnson, I think. I could be wrong. That's off the top of my head now. But yeah, if we could get just fewer of those. One was an absolute killer because Covey had like an 18-yard gain, and then it comes back. Kelsey talked about it. Baldy mentioned it, got Jason Kelsey to chime in, saying he wasn't the biggest fan of the RPO, especially the slower developing ones, because a lot of times as an O-lineman, you're trying to just get out there and block. And if it's a situation in that, you're timidly run blocking, which makes sense, and then it makes for kind of a not great situation on either side. But yeah, you've got to imagine that's something they repped all week, because you don't have, you have one of those, that's more than enough, but you have 3 of them, I believe, if not maybe even 4. Yeah. Okay, Frank, I'm seeing your comment. Basically, our whole entire team in general. Okay. I might have to, yeah, I didn't hear it, but I might have to go see that then. Low-key 100K locker room passes, 100K locker room passes tour of facilities. Maybe. I could try to hook some people up with that, I suppose, but we'll see. All right, let me get to some of these others. I'm trying to as best I can. We're going on different topics here, but Supreme Rich, appreciate the 2, said we need Switowski from longest. Oh, I get it now. At first, I was like, "Who in the world is that?" Yes, from longest yard on our D line. Oh my gosh, yeah. Why? We could use him. Um, that's actually really good. I was sitting here thinking, like, man, who on earth is from our team? Before I saw the rest of that comment, but yeah, anybody really. Some reinforcements. You talk about Anthony Bona had an article of like 5 different potential names. And, the Eagles, obviously, they signed a guy to the practice squad, David Anini, the Houston product. I think 2022 was whenever he was drafted, or excuse me, I don't think he was drafted, undrafted free agent. But a pass rusher, really probably just a fill-in for Patrick Johnson, who got claimed by the Giants. So you don't have Patrick Johnson. You need a little bit more depth. Highly doubt that he's going to really make that much of an impact or even see the field. So it just, you got to wonder that you'll see some things here in the game on Sunday. Watch how the pass rush is. You got to stop the run first. It does start with that, but you stop the run, get the opportunity to rush the passer, and then do things change? Are they able to get some pressure? Are they able to get some sacks? Is the D-line relatively dominant? If they're not, I mean, I got to think that the bye week is the telling sign. You get to the bye week, and I mean, if we're towards the very bottom, if it's about where it is right now, or even if it's just barely better, I got to think that Howie's making a move. The bye week will be the instance where I'm sure it's the more so reflection and look at the team and say, you know what, this is definitely not where we need to be. We need to change some things. And then you see, but then it makes it like, okay, are we fighting? Are we competing? Do we have a chance? You just need that one extra piece at a trade deadline type of move, or is it something bigger? And that's what we're going to find out relatively quick. I'm not totally giving up on it. I'm not there where some people are. I understand seeing the pass rush or seeing the D-line and being like, oh, we're toast. It's over. It may end up being that way, but I'm not ready to completely sell on the team yet. Spilled Milk, appreciate the 2, said we might be seeing a 2023 season part 2. Unfortunate. That's where I'm not yet ready to go. I can understand it though. There are a lot of similarities, especially with giving up that comeback to Kirk Cousins. So I can't totally knock it, but I think that we'll be all right. Starts on this Sunday, on the road, in New Orleans. Can they make it right? Can they put a little pressure on Derek Carr and the Saints? Can they stop Alvin Kamara? That's the beginning. Limit the run, like I said. Jack Dwight with a 5 said, you heard it here first. Jurgens will be better than Kelsey. Wow. Last 5 years, Kelsey led the Eagles O-line in penalties. That is a take, sir. It's a very confident take. I appreciate the 5. And the fact that you're, getting out there with it. I don't know. Would love it. That's great. That's fantastic. If Jurgens is better than Kelsey, I'm not sure if I'm ready to go and say he's better than the GOAT. He's better than a surefire Hall of Famer but he doesn't need to be. However, if he is, absolutely. I mean, my gosh, your offensive line is fantastic. There you go. Frank from Philly. I'm seeing that comment now. Howie will work a deal before the draft. I'm assuming trade deadline. Trade deadline closes. It's just what I've heard from people who actually know people who work for the Eagles. Okay, so a source of a source of a source. It's better than nothing. Jack's further too. The great, I'm going to get to yours, but I'm going to get Jack's too because he followed up. He said, do I need to go into witness protection program? Maybe so. After that take, you might. Jason, what's up, man? I'm seeing your comment there too. How's it going? I'm curious because there were some people that were. Yeah, that's quite a take. There's a couple that are like, you got to be kidding me. Kelsey's first ballot guy. Let's not play this game. James, yes, Bradbury is still hurt. He is on IR. Or maybe he's not still hurt, but he's on IR. So he's quick as he can come back. is week 6 or week 6, whatever, right after the bye. All right, there's this other one I went past before, but the great appreciate the 5 said the NFL changed, teams adapted to elite cornerback play. We have the personnel to stop runs. It starts with benching Huff and stacking the box on all 3 downs. Yeah, it depends. I wonder how soon we'll get that, because Fangio said that Huff is still going to be the starter as of today, but he's going to rotate. So does he see significantly less? Is he going to be starting and only end up playing like 25 snaps, or is he starting and still playing his 40-ish? That'll be another interesting part to keep an eye on, especially if he's struggling. Like if he's playing good, naturally, like, oh, fantastic, we're getting some actual production out of Bryce Huff. But if not, it could be, I'd imagine it'd be a much shorter leash as of right now. Alex O, appreciate the 2, says go get Mac, last year of his deal. Possibly. I'm not sure if they would be willing to part with Mac. I guess it depends on where LA's at, right? Like if they're making a push, they have potential chances. Can't imagine, even with it being the last year of their deal, that they're going to say, "Oh, let's get rid of this pass rusher." But it'd be fun. He's familiar with the Fangio system, Fangio scheme. Could be good. Getting some other people 100K. Yeah, Jalix Hunt, maybe he'll get a little bit. He didn't get to play anything so far, but the thing is, if it gets worse, I can't really imagine that. But even if it's at the same, you might as well throw Jalix Hunt out there. Definitely play Thomas Booker, play Milton Williams some more, get some guys different reps, because it won't be worse. I get it. Or he's saying, looks like a failure. Tyler, I will look at the league. I've been slacking. I know. I'm sure I'm missing stuff. I will check it out. All right. I'm gonna go maybe 10 more minutes. Any last minute Q&A questions here? Again, congrats to Bush on Kush, 1161. You won the helmet. If you claim it, you got 1 week. Otherwise, it's gonna go to somebody on the legit live stream. So. Jeremiah, I did not color my hair. No, it's just I'm a lot closer than I normally would be. I'm usually sitting back further because the camera is further away, but because we're on the laptop FaceTime camera, it's a little bit different with the lighting and everything. So, saving up for a new camera. It died. It died officially. I think it officially shut off after 5 years of some really good usage, but we're done. It just decided to not work anymore. Got one last video out before, in the live stream it said, nah, I'm good. So we'll get one between now and Sunday when Thomas and I will be live streaming. Streaming live for the game. And we'll see. Do the Eagles take advantage early game? Got the 1 p.m. kickoff or noon, depending on where you're at, or what is it? 10 a.m. for you people in the Pacific. Oh, fitness. I may have missed the Murph challenge comment. No, what was your comment? Post it back. I'll respond. I was getting a lot of these other comments out of the way, so I missed it. My bad. Jason, I like the confidence there. It says only 2 games, brand new system. Give it time. It's going to click very soon. Jeremiah, I don't think that DeJean is going to play safety. Vic Fangio said that they're just trying him at the nickel, or like only repping at the nickel now because of getting the late start, the hamstring injury, trying to get caught up to speed. And they had him kind of in a dual role of trying to learn a couple different things. And I don't even know if that was the safety, but it was some sort of, I don't know if it was some dual role. But yes. Mega John, did I miss your comment? I'm sorry. I'm literally. I mean, I'm trying to catch up, but once I get so far down, it just like scrolls to the very bottom. What was yours over? Everyone just needs to relax. There it is. We all should have known there would be growing pains with new coordinators, so we just need to we just need to see how it plays out. I'm with you. There it is. Okay, Fitness asked if Murph challenge on the channel with some subscribers. Yeah, I mean, you have to figure out how to make that work, but sure, yeah, do the Murph challenge. I've only done one of them. That was much earlier this year. And that was brutal. It was miserable. For people, and I had to scale it, but for people that do it like legit, I don't even know how people do that. But I had to change it up with the different reps. So I can't do one like all the same. Like for people that are doing like air squats over and over and over and over, and then jump over to do push-ups and then pull-ups. That's insane. I think I nearly died whenever I took off for the last mile. Not fun, but yeah. I mean, I'd be open to it. James hitting up Isaiah Rogers, which may be in the chat. He did say that he was going to be watching, but if you're in the chat pulling for you, we need you out on the field balling. Absolutely. Antonio, unfortunately, I did the helmet giveaway already, and that was Bush on Cush 1161 who won it. So that they will get it unless they do not claim in a week. And otherwise, in that case, I will give it away to someone else, but it'll be during a live stream. So just stay tuned. I'll post it on the community page. So it just, as far as keeping aware of what took place. Also, we'll tweet it out on Twitter or X, whatever you prefer. But yes, keep an eye out for that. Yeah, fitness. It would be hilarious if we did something like that. Not opposed though. Antonio, I just got home from work. I'm sorry. I apologize. You still had the same odds. Like, just because you weren't here, you did have the same odds. They just went to Mr. Bush, I guess. Damon's with a 5. Appreciate it. Says, growing pains is one thing. Playing with no heart is another. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. I can't say fully growing pains. There are some growing pains, but yeah, there's elements of it. We've seen enough to know it's there's areas that need to be improved. There's areas that they need to show out of, like, hey, look, even if you're getting beat, that effort is not an issue. And they're gonna fight. They're gonna show some of that. So yeah, very true. Daniel, I watched the NBA some. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I used to watch it a lot, and then I don't know, for whatever reason, it just kind of, to me, like regular season, it just doesn't feel like there's intensity. Maybe I'm wrong, and I totally get it for people that are like follow NBA religiously, but I'll catch a game here or there. Once playoffs happen, I'll get locked in. But I did hear of Embiid's extension. He got paid, so good for him. Gerald, yes, if Saquon caught that pass, we would be having a different conversation. That is totally true. We would. It wouldn't be as much of a freak out. I still think that we would be saying like, hey, pass rush is not good. And there's some significant issues, obviously, with the run game or the run defense too. So I didn't actually see that. 14,000 for Carr for his celebration. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. The no fun league. That's there you go. All right. I'm going to sign off here. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Again, congrats to Bush on Kush. You guys have a fantastic weekend. I dropped a video earlier if you have not caught that one. And then also just a reminder, Thomas and I will be streaming during the game. So feel free to come hang out. We've got lots of other giveaways happening, and we are on the road to 100,000 subs. So if you've not subscribed, make sure to do that. If you thought the giveaway was pretty good for the 75K, just wait for 100K. And again, people, OGs of the channel, you guys know it'll be hype. It'll live up to expectations. So look out for that. I'm going to be actually got a super chat here from Anthony at the buzzer, so make sure to get that one in. Appreciate the 5-man. Said, find it interesting people don't talk about Hurts not having his number one weapon. It's like Mahomes without Kelsey, Dak without CD, but kill Hurts. That is also true. You don't hear it as much. Definitely a fair point. Hurts is not near as good, but as you say there, no one is without their top weapon. And I think he'll be better, too. I really think that he'll be better this Sunday. You give him an extra game, extra week of prep, looking over the film. I'm just going to say it again. I'm going 31-30. Eagles win. Maybe I'm dead wrong, but who knows? Maybe it's a pizza party. Maybe it's a virtual pizza party for 100K. I think it'll be bigger than that. We can do more than that. Like I said earlier, I'm not completely saying no to it, but we might send someone to the Super Bowl. If the Eagles are in it, we might send someone to the Super Bowl for 100,000 subscribers, depending on when that happens. But it'll be a crazy giveaway. So, all right, that's it. You guys have an awesome weekend. I will get a new camera, so appreciate you bearing with me as the new kind of odd, unique look to it. But as always, you guys know what it is. We'll see you next time. Go Birds.